Hey, it's Pastor Mike. Before we get started with today's episode, I want to encourage you to check out our other Time of Grace podcasts, like the podcast Little Things with Albee Swenson. If you don't know Amber, she is smart, she's witty, she's insightful, she's honest, she's blunt, she's comforting, she's amazing. You're going to love her. So just search for Little Things wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And now on to today's episode.
When the blind man Bartimaeus heard that Jesus was walking by, Bartimaeus started to shout out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." But what Bartimaeus said in that moment was far different than what Jesus' own disciples had said just moments before. As you read through Mark chapter 10, where we hear the story of Bartimaeus, it's interesting that Mark includes a story about James and John, sons of Zebedee, right before. Now, there were three close disciples to Jesus, Peter, James, and John, and one day, James and John decided to make a power move. They wanted all the other disciples to know just how important they were compared to the rest. And so as Mark records it, he gives us a bit of a parallel between James and John and what Bartimaeus would do in just a moment. But here's what James and John did. Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus. "Teacher," they said, "we want you to do for us whatever we ask." "What do you want me to do for you?" he asked. And they replied, "Let one of us sit at your right and the other at your left in your glory." "Teacher, do for us whatever we ask." That is so different than what Bartimaeus would say. "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." But James and John believed they were significant already. They just wanted people to recognize that with a position of prominence. This is so natural for all of us to fall into. We all want to be significant, and that's not a bad thing. We want to be known, we want to be loved, and that's the way we were wired. But it's just that we go about it the wrong way. James and John believed they were significant to God because of what they could do. And so they told Jesus, "We want to have a seat at your right and left. We want to be prominent in your kingdom, whatever that may look like." And then Jesus had to go and realign them to a different idea of what significance really is. In Jesus' kingdom, significance isn't about prominence. Rather, significance is about service. I like to think of it this way. All of us would like to be a chandelier, a beautiful chandelier that gives light to an entire room and is so fancy and beautiful. But truth be told, some of us are designed to be more like nightlights. It's true, a chandelier is beautiful and it provides lots of light, but which one is more practical sometimes? When you wake up in the middle of the night, the last thing you want is the blinding light of a chandelier. Sometimes it's the gentle light of a nightlight. That is what you need. And so it is in God's kingdom. Some people he places in roles of prominence so that they would be a light for the world to see. But for most of us, we're the nightlight. We're the people who can simply serve and love others as God has served us. And it's incredible to see how God arranges his kingdom in that way. So would you give that some thought today? What's your definition of significance? Because in God's kingdom, significance is not measured by how prominent you are. It's simply measured by how you reflect the love of God to the people in your life.